The Muslim Student Association brought in Dave's Hot Chicken to break fast on Tuesday night. The Muslim Student Association will also have their annual Serenity at Sunset event tonight at Masry.
That's right. On Saturday, Saints made a trip to the Regional Food Bank in Latham. In partnership with the Damietta Center, Siena students collected and sorted food to give back to families in need.
What it means to give back to the community means to kind of put yourself in a position to kind of understand where other people might come from and kind of take time out of your day to just help the community, as well as kind of understanding what it means to do stuff without necessarily getting paid to do it, and making sure that we're putting in hours to help people who also kind of in turn helped us get where we are today.
And if you're interested in helping out at the Regional Food Bank, they're hiring! Go over to theregionalfoodbank.net to see how you can give back to the community.
It's literally like killing me.
I'm behind that crowd, people checking out. To be able to go on, so I would make one before, so you guys see yours up here? You guys ready for the senior week?
After opening its doors in 1920, the College of St. Rose was once a beacon for higher education in the capital region. And since closing its doors in June of 2024, the campus has been abandoned. That is, till now. And I'm here at the College of St. Rose, where the Albany County Legislator's Office has just announced a revitalization plan of the campus.
It was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer.
A press conference was held today to announce the transfer of ownership of the College of St. Rose to the Pine Hills Land Authority. The Albany County Legislator's Office Chair is encouraged by this latest step forward in revitalizing the campus.
Stay seated, stay ready, because there's going to be a lot of interesting things going on here and a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that I hopefully are going to announce that are outside the box, which people are going to be surprised at. But I got to line up. And the hardest thing right now is to own the property. So I am so happy to stand here today with my partners to announce that, yes, after Kevin and I sign all the documents, we will be the official owners of the St. Rose campus to reimagine.
One of the major plans for the campus is to repurpose it for new affordable and senior housing. Albany County Legislator Deputy Chair Wanda Willingham stated that they think the whole idea of putting senior housing here is that there will be security. It can be in one specific area where people will be able to walk to restaurants. They have their own little small park, but they'll feel safe. Albany County Legislator Democratic Majority Leader Dennis Feeney would add, as a vital asset in an incredible location, the College of St. Rose campus holds enormous potential for Albany County. For Morning Brew, I'm Matthew Coloma. Jake and Amber, back to you guys.
The Center for Undergraduate Research and Creative Activity announced their Student of the Week this morning on the Student Digest. This week's recipient was Maya Villanueva. Morning Brew's Chris Hicks has the story.
The Kirka Student of the Week is an award presented to a student to highlight their unique research. This week's recipient is the Biology Department's Maya Villanueva, who is really just getting started with her research career.
So I got into research when I was a junior here at Siena. I had been in the bio department for a while and I was looking to get more involved. And the professors here at Siena are super kind and always willing to help. So I just looked at Siena's research biology webpage and looked at Dr. Maxwell's and saw that his research is something I would be interested in because he works with yeast cells and it has to do with aging, and I thought that might be very interesting. So I asked him and he had space in his lab.
Although Maya may not have as much research experience as other students, her hard work in the lab has been noticed.
It means a lot to me to be recognized for my research. I haven't been doing it as long as other people may have, but I feel that I put a decent amount of effort into research here. I care about what I get out of this, and I'm always excited to present at the academic showcases and show some of my work with the Siena community here.
There are many different research topics throughout the school science departments, However, Maya's caught the attention of the Kirka program, making her the top candidate for this week's award.
Right now we study retrotransposons, and we use baker's yeast as a model organism. So retrotransposons are mobile DNA elements, and they can jump to different positions within a cell's genome. And we're particularly interested in how retrotransposons might be connected to cellular aging.
Maya gives credit to the success in her research to the guidance of her instructor, Dr. Maxwell.
It's very much a mentor-student relationship. He guides me through all the research that I do. If I have any questions, he has an answer right away for me. I've been able to learn so many new lab techniques in the lab, and I've also gained a lot of confidence in lab courses outside of this, just in my major.
Dr. Maxwell was impressed with the speed at which Maya was able to learn and eventually help other students as well.
So Maya's worked with me for multiple semesters, so probably about the first year or so she worked with me. She did one set of experiments, and then over the summer she worked with me and she started doing totally different other experiments. Yet I had 2 new students in the summer, and she could still kind of teach them how to do stuff even though it was also new for her. So I feel like, you know, she got a lot more comfortable and she kind of knew the basics enough. And so now she got to a point where she could actually help me help the other students learn how to do stuff in the lab.
The research Maya has been doing has gained recognition within the school. However, she hopes it will transfer over to new opportunities post-graduation.
Gaining research experience here will open doors in my future as far as doing research in medical school and learning about different model organisms and all the different tests that we can do. I think it's opened a lot of different educational opportunities for me.
Maya spends a lot of her time working on her studies or her research, but what does a student like her do when she's not in the classroom or the lab?
In my free time, I've got a couple of hobbies. I've been getting into crocheting. I also really like hiking, but I like to wait until the weather's a little bit nicer for that. And also just reading is very nice as well.
It's been quite the journey for Maya with her research so far. Hope to see much more from her in the future. From Loudonville, New York, with the Morning Brew, I'm Chris Hicks.
I recently had the chance to cover Albany's St. Patrick's Day Parade for SCTV Live at 7. The parade showed that Albany does in fact have a tight-knit community, one that shares a common love for St. Patrick. However, I was left wondering, what about St. Patrick? And what about the Irish history of Albany? In order to learn more, I had a quick costume change and headed back to Siena College to talk to Dr. Karen Sunlitter. And I'm now joined here by Dr. Sunlitter, Irish expert, I'd say.
I'm a historian of Ireland.
Okay, so
yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
First off, thoughts on the fit?
On the well, I mean the nice sweater, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah. Coles.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go. But sort of copying a little bit of an Aran Island sweater design, I think.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and then the cap is, I think, meant to be a flat cap, right?
Yes.
Should really be wool, though, Matthew. That's okay.
All right, well, what do you know?
That's all right. You're
All right. Apparently, quite a bit. Let's talk about Ireland now.
Okay.
All right, so why don't you tell me just a little bit about the history of St. Patrick's Day to start off?
Sure. Well, so St. Patrick was a real person. He was a 5th century missionary. He was not born in Ireland. He was a Roman Briton who was kidnapped into slavery by Irish raiders when he was about 16 years old. And after 6 years in slavery in Ireland, he escaped and returns to his family, trains as a priest. And he writes in his confessions that he began to experience prophetic visions, which told him to return to Ireland and preach Christianity to the people there. So that's what he did. And that's all in like the 400s. He's said to have died on March 17th, 461, which is why March 17th is his feast day.
Patrick's Day. Look at that. That's incredibly interesting stuff. That's awesome. So specifically Albany, what is the history of Irish culture in Albany? How did Albany get to be so Irish?
Yeah, well, so Albany gets to be really Irish during the mid-19th century. That's actually when a lot of America becomes very Irish. There was always a small Irish population in the American colonies from the 16 and 1700s. The first St. Patrick's Day celebrations in what becomes the United States are in like the 1730s. But in the mid-19th century, there's a famine in Ireland, and it leads to, well, over 1 million people having to flee the country, and many of them wind up going to, well, the United States. And they kind of wind up going to major East Coast cities where ships dropped them off. New York was a major point of departure, and then it's a pretty quick ride up the Hudson from New York to Albany. So a lot of Irish immigrants from the mid-19th century, for about 100 years following that, settle in these urban areas in the United States. Albany offered jobs and opportunities, particularly when they're building the Erie Canal. The Erie Canal was a job opportunity for a lot of poor Irish immigrants.
Awesome, awesome. So I would just love to learn more about Irish history. Is there anything you'd recommend that I do?
Well, Albany does have an Irish Heritage Museum. The Irish American Heritage Museum was actually founded to celebrate Irish American culture and the history of Irish Americans in the United States, and it's in downtown Albany. Yeah, you can find it just down by the Old English Pub. A little ironically, it's right by the Old English Pub.
We're going back to Albany then, right? Is that pretty much what I'm hearing, Chris? Yeah? All right. Okay. All right. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Great talking with you. We'll see you in Albany. And I'm now here outside the Irish American Heritage Museum, where I'm about to go inside and get more in touch with the Irish roots of the city. Upon my entry into the museum, I was greeted with countless Irish relics and artifacts. I learned to lead an orchestra, made a new friend, became a shepherd, experimented with my fashion sense, but got to learn about Ireland's rich history in the city of Albany. And if you want to visit the Irish American Heritage Museum in Albany, the hours are Wednesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. For Morning Brew, I'm Matt Coloma.